Okay, so the grand idea here really, when we are looking at comparison operators in the context of SQL, is to afford us the opportunity to do more and then to actually do what we call selection of data. And then selection in what sense now? We can select a subset of it. So we can do a large selection when we do something like a select asterisk. And then when we are using operators, what we are trying to do is we are trying to narrow down more than a few things to with the data we are trying to get. So the example I was given the last time is what I will just start with right now. So we assume now that we just have two data sets. We'll still use our customer data set. I will say we have a customer ID. I think we were using shoes. Okay, so let's say we have a shoes database. And then we can have a shoe ID. Let's say we have shoes. Then we have attributes of the shoes. We can have color. We can have sizes. We can have what you call upper sole type. We can have sole type. We can have or the upper type. That will be the upper of your shoe, whether it's leather or not. Upper type, and then we can have style. Please bear with me. I just want to explain this so that we can understand it a little bit more better. Now, when we look at all of this now, we can have so many colors here. Let's say we have red, we have blue, we have green. And then for the sizes also, let's say we have 44, 42. And then let's say this is 41. For the sole type, I'm trying to adjust this so that we all are on the same page. For the sole type, we can say these are flats. These are heels. And then these are heels, flats, heels. I think the other one is block. Ladies, am I correct? Hello, ladies.
Yes, sir.
Yes, am I audible or have I lost you guys at all?
No, you've not lost us. We can hear you.
I was
So we
asking
have
you.
heels, blocked heels, flat sandals, flat shoes.
Okay, so this will be leather. This would be some people just use.
I can't see your screen again. I don't know if it's only me.
I think it's only you. Can you guys still see my screen?
I can.
You can't, or you can?
I can see your screen.
You all can't see my screen?
We can.
I'm joining again.
Okay, you can. How many people can see my screen? Please raise your hand up if you can see my screen. Okay. Okay, just 2 participants can see my screen. Or more than 2 participants can see my screen. Okay. 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 How many people can? So please, people, you can put your hands.
I can see your screen.
You can see my screen. Okay. Okay.
No, you're good.
Okay. Okay. So let us just continue. Maybe you will log out and log in for the person who can.
Yes, back in and I can see you now. I can see my screen now.
Okay. Sorry, if you are not talking, please could you mute yourself? If you are not talking, so that when you are watching the recordings later, you can get value from them. Thank you very much. Okay, so for the upper type, we are saying we have leather, we have synthetic, let's say synthetic, and then we have just linen. I don't know if they use linen, but let's just say linen. For style, let's say this is classic. Ouch. Okay, let me pull this to this side a bit. Classic, modern, and then let's say this is retro. Okay, so now when you have this, from what we have seen here, this could be a database or a table, really, when we look at it. Now, when we see what we have here, we can begin to see a few things now. Because when you look at this, and then let's say this is a store now, and then you have probably an attendant, and then you come in as the buyer to look for shoes to buy. You already have an idea of what you want. And then the way you will do it in Nigeria, you will go to it and say, you want to buy a shoe or you want to buy something. And then the question they will ask you is, what do you want? Now, when they ask you that question, what do you want? That's more like a select asterisk, because it's a very broad question. And then you can say you want everything. But now, when you narrow down, you can now begin to say that, oh, I am looking for flats. I'm looking for a flat shoe. And then when you say you are looking for a flat shoe, they will now ask you, what size do you use? And then when you tell them you use a size 44, then you now see the merchandiser go into the store. And then why is he going to the store after he has asked you 2 questions? The reason why he's going to the store after he has asked you 2 questions, or more than 2 questions, is as at the time you came and you said you were interested in buying a shoe, there was a whole universe of shoes that you could pick from. So let's say that whole universe of shoes you could pick from, let's say that's I didn't want to do that. Let's say that's a circle. Now, this whole universe of shoes you want to pick from can have zillion possibilities of shoes you could pick from here. But when they ask you a few questions, they are able to narrow your choice down to you want flats. Now, the flats you want are you want flats, you're a size 44. Now, they could now say, oh, then the boy goes into there to get the shoes, and then when it comes out, you see shoes, they'll bring out what they have in size 44 that's a flat. Are you beginning to connect it to the SQL statement now? Because that is exactly what you have when you say, okay, I'm select. It's the same thing as when we are saying, we go here and we want to do a select. And we say, oh, okay, we have from shoes. We are saying select asterisk from shoes. This is you going from shoes, rather. From shoes. This is you going into the store to say you want to buy shoes. Now, when they ask you, what do you want? What size do you want now? You can say, okay, I want a size 44, or I want a size 42. Now, these comparison operators now begin to allow us to sift data out. You understand? Because what you have done now is, I want shoes, but I want red shoes. So you have now something similar to this now. From this whole universe of shoes now, let's say you want shoes. You still want shoes. You want to see all shoes. Now, you're now saying you want what is all shoes, basically, but you're now saying, okay, where sole type is flat. So all the shoes that you will get, and then you are also a size 44, and you say, and shoe size or sizes rather now is 35. I know ladies have small feet, so let's say 40. Now, what this has done for us now is that in this whole universe of shoes that we have here, there is a limited amount of shoes that is in the stock that is flat and is of the size 44 or size 40. Now we can go further than this, and now we say, okay, I want flat shoes, or I want just a shoe of size 40, and then I don't want anything, or if it's either size 40 or it is the upper type is leather. I hope you guys are seeing what I'm trying to do here. Hello, guys. Hello, everyone.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hi.
We can. Thank you.
Yes, are you
Yes.
seeing what I'm trying to do? Are you understanding?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so what we have done here is this. There is a whole universe, and now what this comparison operators allow us to do is that in this whole universe, how large it is, I am not going to have everything. I want something very specific. You understand? I want the sole type to be flat, I want the size to be 40, or I want the upper type to be leather, or I want the style to be retro. Now, these operators, that is what they allow us to do. They allow us to compare things. That's why they are called comparison operators. But aside from the fact, I'm deleting what I have on board already now. Now, aside from they having being comparison operators and they allowing us to do this, they now help us to, should I say, be more selective about the responses we get. Now, when we move on and we see how powerful this role, how this plays now, when you look at this comparison operator now, you can actually now use them inside the query you are writing. You understand? You want to compare if two things are the same. If something is greater than another thing. If, let's say salary now, we are saying that we want to select employee name and salary and commission from employee, where what someone earns is lower than the commission they are being paid. Now, what this tells us, if you look at someone who earns this type of money, you understand, you want to look at them and then, automatically you want to see that, okay, this is their base salary. And now they earn more commission than what they earn as the salary that they are being paid. Though that gives us the intuition to now make a deduction that, okay, probably this person works in sales. Or this person works in marketing. Are you guys following me? Hello,
Yes.
everyone?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So this person works in sales, or this person that we are looking at works in marketing, but it does not end there. Now, what this also helps us to do, moving on, is that aside from allowing us to do something like this, what it does also for us is it allows us now spread the tentacles. And another operator we have is the between operator. Now, when you have two values, now in what is demo there, you have two values. You have somebody that earns a salary of 1,000. You have somebody that earns a salary of 1,500 500, like what we have on board here. And then I am looking for people that earn, that their salary is in that range. I want, for instance now, let's say that, okay, let's just use this, where the salary they earn is between the lower limit, which is 1,000, and the higher limit, which is 1,500. So when we run this query, what we have is we have just those people that are in between. You will see that we don't have somebody that earns $1,000 or someone who earns $1,500, but we have people or employees that their salary is between this range and this range. And this is not only applicable when you are looking at things like this, but when we take this into the real world, you want to know employees that were onboarded probably between January 15 and February 15. That is where you can use this between operator. You are looking for when the currency of Nigeria was the value of a naira to the dollar was between maybe 85 naira to the dollar and 200 naira to the dollar. This is where you will use clauses like this. But the key thing about the between is that there is a lower limit and then there is a higher limit. And this is the way you should write it. When you have the lower limit, so what it picks is it picks something that is just between them. Now, the between operator is also analogous to the in clause. It is not the same. You understand? When we are using the in operator, we are going to get to the in operator. What we are doing is we are actually looking for something in a list. We are looking for something that is part of a list. You understand? And that's the next thing. We are looking for something that is part of a list. And then the values, this is you are selecting employee number, employee name, salary, and manager for where the manager in this. You understand? And in this case, they are saying just these values that we have here. Let's say this is the manager ID. This is how they know, okay, this is the manager. Understand? But we are saying, okay, where any of these employees, their managers are in this. So you will see here that we have this number here. It corresponds to this. This number here corresponds to this. This number here corresponds to this. And I think this number here corresponds to this. This number here corresponds to this. You can see what I'm saying. So this looks for values that are in a place. Between looks for values that exist in a range. They look similar, but what they do is quite different. They look similar, but what they do is quite different. Let us go into the oh my, let me close this. Okay, so let us see if we can write some queries. I have not used this. I hope this will not charm. Okay, selected application. Oops. Connected. Okay, let me query. Okay, so let's say we are selecting first name, comma last name, and we are saying we are selecting it from employees. And we are saying we just want oh, I didn't see this. You guys didn't tell me. Last name. We're selecting it from employees, and we are saying where something like let us see what we have in our columns here. Okay. Where location, let us write, my hand is pressing a lot of tabs today. Let us do a small select here first. Let us select distinct locations. I think we have explained the distinct clause.
Yes.
Earlier. I think we've done that, right?
Yes.
Okay. As we are selecting distinct locations, from employees. Let's run this query first so that we can do something Is it location or locations? What's wrong with my locations does not exist. How is that possible? I think my let me see. Is it location then?
Is locations.
Locations. Well, I think my probably I am having the same issue, one of the same issues you guys are having with your Postgres server. Okay, let me try HRX, see if it does not work. Should be the same then. What's wrong? Okay, just give me a minute. Let me do.
I think the stuff is still not connected.
No, it is connected actually.
No,
What
it's
about
connected. So we're not supposed to get locations from employees. We're getting it from locations.
oh, okay.
Ish. Okay. No. Okay, yes. I think you are right. You are right. I think I am the one. No, you guys are right. I didn't say that. Let me just select manager. Let me just select manager. I wanted to show you guys something. Let us just do select. Let me just select manager. Manager ID. Let me select distinct manager ID. So I can show you what we have on board. That's why I wanted to do this. The distinct manager ID. I can select it from where I'm trying to select it from employees here. I was thinking that was possible. Okay, so we have selected the first name and last name from employees, and we are saying where where manager ID, let's say where manager ID in, or where employee, you know, the way this is written, or the way this is, if we do a select, so that you understand the queries itself, let's say we select select asterisk from employees. So you understand the way the table structure is already. Let me just limit this. I think we've touched the limit clause. I think so. Okay, so this is our employees. We have employee ID, we have first name, we have last name, we have job, we have salary, we have manager ID. You understand? So you see that every employee has a manager ID. So you can now say where employee ID in, or where manager ID in. So for each employee now, where we are saying where manager ID in any of these things, what it's going to do is going to look through this, find where it is, like it's here, where manager ID in. It's going to find where it is, and then it's going to just give us the values of those that correspond exactly to the manager IDs. So the employees that have that manager ID, or employees that have that manager ID. So this would be a case probably when you have you're trying to find a few things, and then you want to know the manager of the employee, or the manager in charge of maybe a particular department. This is where this will be very helpful for us. So that is what the in operator does. It helps you look through it. So a between operator is between two ranges. A in operator is in a list. So while the between operator can take two arbitrary numbers, one low, one high, you understand? The in operator will take a list of numbers. And it does not only take the list of numbers also, it can take other data types like maybe colors. So you can say where color in or where date in, or where year in. It can take all those things. So that is how the in operator works. Okay, so the like operator, and we've not touched this, the like operator, what this does is this allows us to do what we call regex searches. And now, what is a regex search? A regex search is, we call it regular expressions. You are looking for something in a stack, or you want to look for all appearances of something. You don't know exactly what you are looking for, but you have an item like, okay, you want all continents, all let's say all cities that are in Africa. You understand? Or all cities that start with C in Africa. You, in a world database, you would not necessarily know all the cities. And then you won't go and do control or select cities where C. You'll be looking at finding a way to do a loop through to see all the cities or the list of anything that starts with one of the numbers you are looking at, and then use that to get the number or that particular list that you are trying to work on. So what this allows us to do is that allows us to search, allows us to have a search condition. You understand? And then we can write the search conditions for as long as possible. For example, now, this is these are the two major ones that most people use. It is more than that, actually. The first one is what you have used already. You have used that a lot. Is the asterisk. We call this the wide character. We call this the wide character. We call this the wildcard character. And what that helps us to do is that it just helps us to just search for anything that can be joined to this. You understand? Like anything can be in front. Like literally anything. That is what the asterisk, like literally anything. If you are on your PC and you do something like, if you're on your PC and you do something like, you are looking for a document, you know the name of the document starts with D, but you don't know the name of the document. You can do something like D asterisk. And then if you know the document is an Excel type, you can do .xls. And then when you run that search, what this is going to give you, it will give you all files that start with D and have any other character at the back, but are of just this type. So this is just anything. This can be 1 million characters in front of D. It can be 10 characters in front of D. It can be mixture of numbers. It can be mixture of numbers and characters and text. Anything can be in front of D because this is a wildcard character. The other one that we have as that we use in regex a lot that you should know is the percentage sign. And now what this denotes for us, it denotes zero or many characters. So when you see something like D, okay, let me use something like this. Let me say D. Now what this tells us is there can be a character in front of D. There can be zero character. There can be no character in front of D. It's possible there are no characters in front of D. And it's possible also that there are many characters in front of D. That's what that is telling us. It is telling us that there is a possibility there is no character, and it's telling us there is a possibility there are many characters. Now, the other one is this underscore here. What this tells us is just one character. There can only be one character. So you now can do a mix and match. There are more than this, actually. There is this is also used in some cases. This is also used for some certain things. This is also where is that upper the upper caret is used also for certain things, but for us in this class, I think just these three would suffice for what we are trying to do. But if we have this underscore here, it means that if I wanted to write something like dad now, or I'm looking for the word dad, I know it starts with a D, you understand? And then I probably know there's only one character. It's not plenty, it's just one. I can put this there. There is only one character after it. And then I also know that there is only one character after this, so I can put this here. So what I would have is this. I will just have, when I search for this now, what would happen is the result set it will give me can be, it has to have D in front of it. This, the first, this one, the first of them can be A to Z, can be 0 to 9, can be A to Z in this case also, can be any character. You understand? The other one, which is the last one that I have, can just be one character, also like the above. But the total length of the text it will return to me cannot be more than 3. I hope I've not lost you guys. Hello, everyone.
Hello, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I know you can hear me. Are you? Is it clear? Are you understanding?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For me, yes, sir.
Okay, you guys are understanding. Okay, that's great. Okay. Okay, so this can only be this. So, but if I wanted to do another search and I wanted to do something more, and I wanted to do I could do D, and when I do something like asterisk, and I do probably like this in front, and then what I'll do, this can be any character, it can be 500 in front of this. You understand? But if I do this and I do this, it will mean that, oh, this can have 0 or many characters. So this can be empty, this can be many characters. So these are the uses of the like operator. And what the like operator helps us to do is just helps us to do what you call a string search. I want to search for a particular character. I want to search for a particular word, you understand, in a database. And that just makes life easy for us, sort of, when you want to look at it that way. So an example here is this. You are selecting employee name from employee, where the name like this. Let us do this so that we understand this at least maybe a little bit better. So let's say we do, oh, sorry. So let's say we want to select first name. We'll select first name. Yeah, this is, wow. Hello, guys. Are you with me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please, you give me a few minutes. I'll be right back.
Okay, sir.
Hello, guys. Sorry for the disruption. Hello, guys. Are you still here?
Welcome
Yes.
back. Welcome back.
Okay.
Thank
Welcome
you.
back, sir.
All right.
Nice
Thank
to
you.
see you.
Okay. So if you are doing the select now, we've selected the employee's first name. This is what we have done, but we want to know how many employees that their names start with S. You understand? So we'll do something like where first name or well, let's say first name. And we say something like, now what the like operator does is what we have explained. We can now do something like, okay, we want to know how many people's names start with S and then add anything in front of them. So, and if we run this query, what we'll have is all the people whose first name starts with this. You understand? But we can do more than this with this. This is just this. We can do, probably you want to do, this is just, we want to do somebody that has, let's say, has just one character in front of it. And then we can run this also. So this is the power of strings. It will give us the same thing, and then we can do something like, let's say, S asterisk, or let's say, let us tweak this up. Let's put this in front. Let's put this there, and let us put S here. I'm not sure we'll get anything, but let us just play it around so that you will see what it looks like. Okay, there is nobody that his last name is as S, so we can do something like, let's put A here. And let's see if we get any hits. Okay, so when you look at this now, I think this is a very good example for us. Now, when you look at this now, you can see, you know, when we talked about the underscore, we said it denotes one character. And you can see all the names here now. You can see that there is just only one character before the letter A. And after the letter A, there is just a different amount of characters. There is probably 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters. But in front of the letter A, there is just one character. And that character can be any. You understand? So if we tweak this up now, moving forward, we can say, okay, we want as many characters as possible in front of our letter A. And we can run the same query, and let's hope that it will give us something maybe a little bit different. And you can see now, we are saying there can be n numbers of characters before letter A. It can be 1, it can be 0 or many. So if I say it can be 0, then, you know, there can be like Alexandra now, there is nothing between it, but immediately after it is the A. So there is a A for Alexandra here. You understand? So there's a A for Alexander here. Now for Nena here, and for Alexander here, there is a, and that's the first letter. But if you look at Alexander here, you can see another A here. So many characters, 0 or more. And that's what this regex separators allows us to do. It just allows us to create searches that we can just use to find strings in between what we are looking for. Okay. Okay, so we can combine pattern matching strings, which is what I've shown you here. This denotes what does this denote? The underscore, what does it denote, guys?
One character before.
One character. What does the percentage sign denote?
Any number of characters
Any number of
before,
characters
after.
Okay. Okay, that's great. So you can use this to match. You understand? You can use this to do what you call pattern matching. You understand? For you to do pattern matching, you want to see something like this, something like that, depending on how well you write it or how well you will learn to write it. It can do a lot of things, and I can tell you that regex is actually very powerful. if you know how to use it well, or you use it well, it can be very, very powerful. It can be very powerful too. And applications of regex would be, and some of them you have seen it. You understand? But you might not know it's still regex that they were using. In the early days of the web, when you find people, okay, I think this is something you might not have noticed. So when you find people typing something like email addresses, you have X number of characters in front of it. This can be 0 or more. It can contain, you can have A to Z. You can have A to Z, small a to Z. You can have, let me put a space in between them. You can have 0 to 9. And then you necessarily will have an at in front of it. You will have a dot. And then this also, after all of this now, is what you can have. It has to be 3. So it has to be 3. And then it can be a .edu, a .gov, a anything. So this is, they use regex to do pattern matching, so that when you are entering your email or emails in those sites that request for your email, when you enter an email that looks incorrect, it tells you that this email is not correct. I don't know if you've noticed that it will tell you that this email is not correct.
Yes.
What it uses to do all of that is still that pattern matching. Sorry, guys, give me a minute, please. So what it uses to do all of that is still the same pattern matching that we are talking about. Nothing more than pattern matching. That is what it uses to do all of those things that we talk about there. Still the same pattern matching that it uses to do it. So I think you can find how useful this could be for you moving on. So the is null operator, what the is null operator allows us to do is basically you want to check if something is null. So that's what it does. So when something is not there, has not been put there, we don't know exactly what it is. We can do something like what we have on board. We are selecting the first name, the last name. We are selecting the manager from where the manager ID is null. So this will tell us which employee does not have a manager. And let me show you this. From what we have here, now if we say if we write this, where manager ID, where employee.manager ID, if we say is null. Now, what does this do really? What this does for us is this. Let us run this query so that we can see now. Let us put manager ID here also. So we can see that it doesn't have a manager ID, employee.manager ID. And then let us run this. Let us put first name, last name. Let us put job ID. So we can see this. Job ID. And then I'm looking for, okay, let us put department also. Let us run this query. Okay, so you can see why this person does not have a manager because he's the president or acting director / president. So, and then definitely he's not going to have a manager. I think you can understand what we're trying to do here. Hello? Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I hope you guys are understanding.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is what there is no. That is what it helps us to do, really. It just helps us to find things that do not exist. And then when you have a large data set, like, in our table, we have commissions. We have the commissions here. We have people who earn commissions. So let us say where commission is null. Let's say we are looking for where commission is null now. Commission PCT. Let's say we are looking for where commission PCT is null. And we can see all the people that don't have commissions. We can look at all of them here. And we can see that none of them is in sales, none of them is in marketing. And then if we find people that their commission percentage is not null, you understand? We will see that those are the people that are in these same roles that are different to these people that we have on board here. I think we can move to the next slide now. I think we've not talked about logical operators, and we are going to use them a lot. So logical operators, I'm going to do I'm going to do a logic table so that we understand what a logical operator is. And then I'm just going to explain briefly. So this is what we call a truth table. And then there are two different truth tables. They can be anything, basically. So let's say I'm going to write 1 and 0. That's what I'm going to write. I'm going to write 1 and 0, 0 and 1. I'm going to write 1 and 1. So don't worry, I'm going to explain everything I'm writing. 1 and 1, and I'm going to write 0 and 0. This is all I'm going to write. And then I'm going to write hand on top here. So this is the AND truth table. There is a truth table for AND. There is a truth table for OR. There is a truth table for XOR, NOR, and things like that. But these are just, and not. These are just the truth tables. These are just the basic ones we need. Now, for the whole purpose of a truth table follows what we call Boolean algebra. And now, from what we have on board, we can see that the operator AND returns true if both components of the conditions we are testing are true. So to make this clear, we'll say 1 is true. 1 is true. And we'll say 0 is false. So let us complete this truth table now. So 1 and 0 is what? Hello, guys?
True.
Okay. Did you understand everything I've said just now, or should I go back?
Please go
Set.
back.
Yes,
Please
go
You-
back, sir.
You don't understand? Okay. So this is a truth table, and a truth table evaluates conditions based on what you call an operator that is in between them. Now, this is an operator. This AND is an operator. Now, the AND operator returns true if both components. So the idea for this is this. Let me say, let's say there is a job opening, and then the requirement for the job reads that must have practical knowledge of Python and SQL. Now, what does that tell us?
You need to have the two.
Must have both.
You need to have practical knowledge of Python and SQL. So
Yes.
if you have Python and you don't have SQL, are you a good fit for that job?
No.
No.
No. Okay.
False. No.
No. Okay, that's great. And that is what the hand table is already. The condition is the statement is must have practical knowledge of Python and SQL. So the and there returns true. That is the condition that is evaluating. The logical operator in between Python and SQL is you must have both of them. You understand? So you are a good fit if you have Python and if you don't have SQL. So let us say one is Python, right? For the sake of us to understand. And let's say this is Python. I've written Python under this one. And let's say this is SQL. So let's say you're a candidate. So the person that has Python and does not know SQL, is the person a good fit for the job? Remember, 1 is true and 0 is false.
No.
So, no? Okay, that would be that would be 1 or 0.
0.
Zero.
0. Okay.
Zero.
This person does not know Python but knows SQL. Is the person a good fit?
No.
No. Zero.
No.
0. Okay, that's great. So this person knows Python and this person knows SQL. Is this person a good fit?
Yes.
Yes. One. One.
Okay. This person does not know Python and does not know SQL. Is this person a
0.
good fit?
Absolutely not. Minus 0.
Absolutely. Minus 0. Okay, that's great. Okay, so this is the AND table. This is the AND table. Anywhere you look for the AND truth table, this is what you will see. You will see 0 and 1, and then you will see what I've written at the back of it. This is how you will see it. The AND operator returns true if both components are true. Python knows Python. SQL knows SQL. Now, the OR condition now, I'm going to change this. I'm going to change this to OR. Can I go ahead and do that?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So the OR condition is Python or SQL. The job applicant must have practical knowledge of Python or SQL. What does that tell you?
It's either of both. So you either have Python or you have SQL.
Or you have SQL. Okay, that's great. So I know Python, I don't know SQL. Can I apply to this job?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Is it a 1 or 0?
1.
1.
Okay, that's great. So I don't know Python, but I know SQL. Can I apply to this job?
Yes.
I can apply to this job. That's great. Now I know both Python and SQL. Can I apply to this job?
Yes.
Yes.
I can apply. I know neither Python or SQL. Can I apply to this job?
No.
No.
No, I can't apply to this job. Okay, that's good.
Yes.
So this is the OR table. Now the OR conditions returns true if either component condition is true. So when we are saying this person must have practical knowledge of Python or SQL, if I know SQL, I can apply to the role because the condition is OR. I either know A or I know B. So if I know both Python and SQL, then I'm still a great fit. But if I know either, I'm a fit for the role. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the other one that we are looking at is the NOT table. Now, the NOT table is, okay, let me do this. Ouch, I didn't want to do this. That scattered everything we have written so far. Let me write this again. Sorry, guys. Okay, let me do. Sorry, I'm sorry for that. Where did I do? Okay, let me do truth table. Okay, let me just do all. Let me do. I think we all understand the 1 and 0. What is Python? What is SQL? I want to abstract everything and just go. Should I write that so that it gives you more understanding? Do you understand everything we've talked about it so far?
I
Yes, sir.
understand.
For me,
Okay,
I
so
do.
I can go full speed.
Yes, you can.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so 1 equals true, 0 equals false. And then what we have here is we have the OR table, and then I'll just have my 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, and then I have my 0 and 0 here. And then from the last exercise we did, we know what the values of these things are. I want to believe we still remember, right?
Yes.
So
Yes,
can
sir.
someone help me with this, the all truth table?
1.
1, 1,
Okay.
1, 0.
Okay, thank you very much. 1, 1. This Boolean logic that you have here is what makes the light in your house on, in case you don't know. And it is the reason why we can actually use this Zoom that we are using. This is the foundation of all, anything computation, the Boolean table. Okay, so now this is our value. This is the result of, let me put this and or here in the middle so that we know that this is the operator that is acting on both conditions. Now, when we look at the not returns true if the following condition is false. So basically what the not does is negate everything. So if I were to apply the not here, like what I said it does, it negates. So if it is positive, it turns into negative. If it is negative, it turns into positive. That is what the not logical operator does. It doesn't do anything more than that. You understand? If it's positive, it turns into negative. If it is negative, it turns into positive. That's all it does. So, knowing that, what do you think these values would be if we apply the not operator on them? Like where the values I'm talking about is the result of our OR operator. If I applied not on them, what would our values be?
0,
Okay.
0, 0, 0,
0, 0, 1.
Okay. Zero, 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 and this would be 1. And you are very correct. So this is what the not operator does. There are other operators, but you would most likely use the and, the or, and the not. These are the ones you will use mostly. You understand? These are the operators you will use mostly. And now the value of the and operator is in when you are trying to combine two things. Let's say you are saying that you want to see two things are true. Something like you want somebody whose salary, you understand, is greater than 5,000. And this same person, you understand, as the manager ID is known. Now, you are looking for someone who earns more than 5,000 and the manager ID is null. Both have to evaluate to be true. That is, the first condition that needs to be true is, so look at this as a very large data set. We have a lot to cover. I know I have stopped this class like twice already. So just bear with me. Okay, so let's say we go back to our shoes database now, our shoes data sets that I showed you guys earlier. Now, in that our shoes database or data set now, you know, we had colors, we had shoe type, right, guys?
Yes.
Hello, are you with me?
Yes.
Okay, you know, we had colors, we had shoe type, we had what else did we have? We had shoe types. We had make, let's say we have sole type. Yeah, thank you very much. I've forgotten what I wrote earlier. No, we had all of this. You understand? So let's say you are looking for a shoe, and then you want the color now. This is the way you make decisions, actually. So you can see how this ties into what you do in your daily lives now. So you want a shoe that the color is red. You want the shoe to be flat. And okay, and then you want the shoe to be flat. You want it to have a flat sole type. So when you go to the dealer or the merchandiser to buy this, it says that, oh, I want a red shoe that is flat soled. Now, what that does, it narrows down completely the type of shoes that the merchandiser has that you may be interested in. You understand? It just narrows it down. Now, if you go a step further and you say, okay, a red shoe, and the shoe must be flat, and it must be a size 41. Now, this further narrows it down, because a red shoe, he might not have, the merchandiser might not have, and then, wow, if he has a red shoe, then most red shoes I've seen for ladies are heels. I've not seen flat red soled shoes. I'm not saying they do not exist. I'm saying I've not seen them. And then it's size 41 also. So narrows it down. So now the shoe must be red for you now, making the choice, making the purchase. For you to buy this shoe, it must be red, it must have a flat sole, and it must be size 41. All of these things have to be true for you to make the purchase. The same way, you can go into that database and we can say that, oh, we want somebody, or we want an employee who earns, let's say, a salary greater than $8,000. And the same person does not earn a commission. Or the same person earns a salary greater than $5,000. And this same person earns a commission that is greater than $2,000. Or we can now get very eventful with using our conditional operators. We can say that, oh, I want the salary to be greater than 5,000, and I want the manager ID to be in. I want the percentage commission to be between. I want the job type to be IT. I want the location to be maybe US. You understand? So we can do a deep dive into our data by being very specific about what we want. And the same way we can do this about our data using these conditional operators is the same way we talk. It's the same way you talk, the same way you will tell somebody, oh, can I have a glass of wine or a bottle of water? So you have given the person a choice now. If you have a glass of wine, I'll drink wine. If you don't have a glass of wine, I'll take a bottle of water. And the same way you can go to a restaurant and you can say, oh, I would like to order some salad and jollof rice. Or you could go and say, I would like to have fried rice or pounded yam. So the waiter now says, oh, we don't have fried rice, we have pounded yam. So that ties into our or. Or you could say, oh, which fish is available? And they go like, oh, there is catfish, there is barracuda, there is tilapia, there is ladyfish. And then you're saying, oh, okay, I'll take ladyfish. What you have done is you have used the in. You have a plethora of choices, but what you have is a list. And what you have done is you have done the same thing you will do if you're writing SQL, is there is a list you can make a selection out of. And you have exercised your choice by picking something in the list. If there are no fishes that you want inside of that list that was given to you, then you would probably not choose to eat fish. I hope you guys are understanding this. I hope it's not complex. Hello, guys. Hello, guys. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Sorry, I wanted to omit. But yes, sir, we understand.
Okay, all of this is clear. Okay, that's great. Okay, so the rest of this talks about the AND operator. You understand? And then I've explained this. So requires both conditions to be true. So you are selecting the employee number, the name, the job, the salary, where the salary is greater than this. And the job of the person is a clerk. You understand? That's what we've done here. And then we can see the result here. And then the OR operator requires either condition to be true. So the condition can be true. Either condition can be true. So that is what that allows us to do. It can be A or B. It can be B or A. You understand? So now you'll see here that you have a lot of people that earn more than 1,100, but or the job clerk. So what it does is, okay, if the person earns more than 1,100, the person is already in the result set. If the person's job is a clerk, the person is already in the result set. So that is why you see a clerk here that earns 950, and then the clerk is in the result set, and then this is the correct result. Okay, the NOT operator is what you have here. You would notice when we talked about the IN operator, we said that you are looking for something in something. You are looking for it being in a list. The same way you can look for something, you can negate it. You can say you want the job ID not in this list. So you are looking for every employee whose job is not either a clerk, is not a manager, and is not an analyst. And we can go further and say, oh, we are selecting employee name, job, and we can even do probably something like from job, where job not in this, and or do something like that. Or we can use this, or I think I'll come back to this example. I don't want to make that example there. Okay, so there are rules of precedence for this. You understand? All other comparison operators, that is your greater than sign, your less than sign, your all of them. That is the first thing that will be evaluated. Then your NOT operator, because what your NOT operator does, it negates anything. Then your and then your OR operator. That is what we have. So this is the rules of precedence here being applied here. So what they are doing here is they are selecting employee name, the job, the salary from employee, where the job equals salesman, or the job is the president and the salary is greater than 1,500. Now, if you look at this now, you'll find these rules of precedence that we talked about here. What does it tell us? That all other comparison operators will be the first thing to be evaluated. So salary has to be greater than 1,500. Or the job is this. We are saying everybody here, where job equals salesman or job equals president. So you're either a president or you're a salesman, and your salary is greater than this. But you will find salesmen that do not earn more than that. So this is how it happens. Let me go back a little bit so that you see how it happens. You see the AND is evaluated first. Then the OR operator is the next thing to be evaluated. President and greater than. Then the OR operator is now evaluated. And that's why we have the result we have. But the best thing you can do when you are trying to write multiple conditions is to use a parenthesis so that you can enforce priority. You understand? You enforce priority on, I want this to be executed first before you go on to this to execute it. Okay, so the order by clause, order by, there are two types of, the order by is either ascending or descending. When we say it's ascending order, that is the natural order by default. And then descending order, that is when you turn it upside down. Let us, so we are going to see examples of the order by clause soon, very soon, maybe in the next 10 or 15 minutes. So let us just walk through this so that we can finish this. So what the order by does is that it allows you to arrange things according to maybe a date. You understand? Maybe you have you want to find the first person that got the job. You want to find the person, you want to find the order of seniority in the rank. You want to know when people were promoted. You want to know anything. And then you have a column which you can use to enforce that, or you can use to know it. So you can arrange in that order. So what it does is you already have a result set, but you are now using the values in a column to arrange that result set. So there is a result set, but you are arranging it by values in a column. You understand? That's what you are doing with the order by clause. I think we are done with this, and we are going to jump right into the second one. You guys want to take a breather for 5 minutes, and then we'll just jump into class in the next 5 minutes. Is that okay?
Okay, sir. Okay,
All right,
sir.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, man. Yeah. Mm. Hello, guys. I think our time has elapsed.
Hi, sir.
Shall we start? Okay. So the next thing we'll be looking at is aggregating data using group functions. That's what we'll be dealing with next. And yeah. So well, after completing this lesson, you should be able to identify available group functions, describe the use of group functions, group data using the group by clause, include the exclude group data using the having clause. You should be able to do that after we have completed this lesson. Okay, so what are group functions? What group functions do is they operate on sets of rows to give one result per group. You understand? So they are a columnar operator. They operate in columns. Now, everything we've talked about so far, the operations they do is called row-wise operations. You understand? Everything we've talked about, what they do is they do row-wise operations. We are looking at something is greater than something. We are looking at something is less than something. We are looking at something, salary between, we are looking at salary being equal to, we are looking at salary not, we are looking at things that are inside the rows of data. That's what we are looking at. But for group functions, they operate in columns. Understand? So, like max now, which is a function now, when you say max of salary, what it does is it goes through the entire length and breadth of everything we have here. It goes through everything. And then it looks for the highest. It's the highest. And then it gives us this as a result set. That is what this does. You can see that is what it does. It doesn't do more than that. Understand? So group functions operate on sets of rows to give one result per group. So they operate columnar in a columnar way. So that's group functions for you. So aside from max, which is a group function, there is average and sum. And then we use average and sum for numeric data. What average does is what you know already. Calculate the average salary, calculate the average salary, the maximum salary, the minimum salary, and the sum salary. Let us write all of this out, and then let us see how this relates with us for here. So let's say we are looking at salaries here, and we do something like select, and then we want to do AVG, and then we say AVG, we have salary, we have max, we have the salary, we have the minimum salary, what else can we use here? We have average, minimum, maximum, and then we want to probably take off the sum of the salary also. Of the salary also. And then we want to say, okay, so that we write all these things in a good way. Totally not necessary, but it's good to put correct styling while you are writing, because you are writing. See, yes.
So please, is count also a group function?
Is what?
Count also part of these functions for the group by.
We'll get there. Just hold on. We'll get there. We'll
Thank
get
you.
there. Don't worry. Count is a very interesting thing. But we'll get there, don't worry. Myself, I still have worries with using count on some days when I'm doing work and I feel like this count can work. Count can work in so many ways. But yes, you can look at it as a group function because what it will do is it will count. But you know, when you write count alone, don't worry, let us just look at this and then we'll just do something and then we are digressing, but maybe it will make us understand a few more things. Okay, so what we can see is we can see the average salary, we can see the person who earns the highest, we can see the minimum salary, and we can see the sum of all the salaries, everybody. So that is, these are what these functions do, really. These are what these functions do. Now, let's say we've not gotten to count, you understand? But let's say we want to look at count here, just for the sake of here. Let's say we say select, and we say count. And then we say select count. And then we say from employees. Do you think this query would run? Let me just ask that question first.
We may run.
It may run. Okay.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, you think
Because it will, what I think it will return is it will probably give us the number of entities in columns.
okay, the number of entities it will give us, is it the number of rows? Is it the number of columns? Is it what exactly? What exactly do you think it will give us? Now let us do something like this. Let's do count asterisk. Now we have not gotten to count, but I just want you to show you something. Now, why did count asterisk work and count did not work?
Because you didn't select anything, it was just blank.
Yeah, I didn't select anything also. I just put asterisk in the middle.
And well, you know, when you were teaching us, you said when you use, for example, select asterisk, so you're asking for everything in, for example, now if we had select asterisk from employees, we're asking for every column in the employees table. Whereas I think that with count, now we're asking for the number of, I don't know, maybe entities in the employees table. I don't know if that's right or not.
Okay. So I would always say that there is no right answer, there is no wrong answer, at least for now. We are all learning. So we will know which one is right or which one is wrong later. Okay, so just keep what you've said. Keep it in your left hand. And then when we get there, I wanted to explain to you if it is right or wrong. Can we agree on that?
Okay, sir.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so we just did this, by the way. This is not where we are going. Okay, so these are what we are looking at. This is the one we're looking at before we jumped into count. Okay, so this is average, max, mean, and sum. And then if we did something like select asterisk, let me just remove this. I want to select asterisk from employees. Okay, let me run both of them together. They should not give us an error. Yes. Okay, you would see that this, I think this should be 107 rows, if I'm correct, or something close to that. This should be 107, yes. It should be 107. It's 107, yes. Okay. So you can, if you look at this and you look at the commissions, or if you look at what we have here, when we run the average and max salary, you would see that, you would surely see that the, what do you call it now? The salaries or what people earn, it is the sum of it. It just perform like I explained. Just a columnar operation to find what is the maximum salary among all this range of salaries, what is the minimum salaries among all this range of salaries. The same also for the average also. But the beautiful thing about all of this is that we can actually use these calculations. We can use this, should I say formulas? They are not formulas. We can actually use them inside the queries we are writing. Understand? We can use them inside the query. So we can do something like select, let's say, first name. And do something like select first name. Name, comma, last name. Last name from, let's say, from employees. You understand? And we can do something like where we're not writing this, where, so you are seeing something different. We are not getting here. Where salary where salary in, let me do where salary in, you can now do something like a select. You want to find people who are earning lower than the base salary. You can do, okay, select AVG salary from, let's say, employees. This is, we have not gotten here, but we are very close to this place. We are salary greater than this. So we can do this. We can do this. This is wrong. But I just want you to have an idea of what is possible. What is possible when you are writing queries. And now the sole purpose of that is so that you understand what you can do with this. It's all a function of you understanding what works and what does not work. You understand? So this is possible. You have not gotten here, but this is possible. This is possible. You understand? Okay. So when you run this type of query, you'll find out that your average, your sum, gives us these values. And then you can have mean, you can have your max. It's still the same thing. You are trying to find the minimum of something, you are trying to find the maximum of something, but you would know that the minimum would work on a number or integer or data type. It would work on numbers. If I have two colors, I can't find the minimum between. No, theoretically you can, but we are not there yet. You don't want to find the minimum between Ade and Adiola. I'm not trying to find the minimum between Adiola and Adiola. I'm trying to find the minimum between maybe a set of numbers, or find the maximum in a set of numbers. That's what I'm trying to do, most likely. So the count function, yes. The count asterisk returns the number of rows in a table. And the person who asked me that other question now, you have your answer, yeah? Hello? Someone asked me about the count function. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Now, the count function has two formats. The first one is count asterisk, which returns the number of rows in a table, including duplicate rows. You understand? Now, the count expression, so there is count asterisk, and then there is count expression. So I can do count asterisk, like I can do something like what we've seen me do. I can do count. And why I did count asterisk, I'm not sure you noticed, while we were talking about count, I actually did select asterisk to draw out everything. And then I said the number of the rows was 107. Do you remember? You might have not noticed. And the reason I was doing that is to let you know that when you do a count asterisk against the table, what it does is it counts, it just loops and counts the number of rows you have. It doesn't do more than that. So if you have 1,000 rows in a table and you do a count asterisk against that table, what it will do, it will just tell you, oh, this table has 10,000 rows. This table has 5 million rows. That's what it's going to tell you. And actually, it's a good way, you understand, to do something like a cron job. And this is not the purpose of this class, but what's a cron job? A cron job is a script you write to automate something. To do it probably maybe every Monday by 2 p.m. or every Friday by but this count asterisk you use, you can find the total number of rows in your database, and then if it exceeds a certain amount, you can now run a script to actually do something like a backup, or do something like a data shading, or do something like you are redistributing your data. It depends on what you're trying to do. But this is what the count asterisk does. Then there is the count expression, where you can do a count and then you can put an expression in front of inside it. And what this does is you have let's say you do a count expression and you do something like let's say count employees or count department ID. Let's say you do something like count and do manager ID. You can do something like that also when you're doing a count. You understand? So you can do a count expression and you can do a count asterisk. Those are the two types of counts that we really have actually. So when we do a count, we have that, and then we can do another count. Let's say we are doing a count of the commission. So we can do a count of the commission. Now, this count that we have here, you can see that if you do this count of commission regularly, let us see this so that you can understand what I'm saying. The query we are running is, oh, sorry, I thought I was still, let me delete this. Okay, so let's do a select, and then we want to do a count, and then we are doing commissions. We are doing commissions PCT. We are doing commissions PCT, and we are doing it from employees. And this employee table don't suffer for our hand. And then let us just do this. You can say now, what has it done? Do you have an idea what this has done? Hello?
Yes, sir. So I think it has counted the number of rows that have commission in them.
Okay,
Commission
yes,
values with commission in them, sorry.
exactly. Now, if we do a count asterisk, now a count asterisk counts both rows that are duplicate and rows that are not duplicates. But when we are having a count with an expression inside them, it differs a little bit, not so it differs to that extent.
Okay, so I
Now,
want to ask you a question.
okay,
Sorry.
please go ahead.
So if we use the distinct function, for example,
Okay.
I don't know, is it going to give us something different?
Okay, so let us do that so that you can see how it works. So let us do a count now. Let's do a count of, I think we can use manager ID, right? I think that one has things that are overlapping, right? So let's do, now, you see 106, yes?
Yes.
The only one it did count was the AD president that does not have a manager. That's the only person that does not have a manager. So it did not count the one that was null, but it counted everybody else.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So let us now do a count distinct. Which is your own question? Sorry about that. Okay. These things have a way of getting you very angry. So you just have to be very patient. Your brackets are very important. So, okay. So let's do a count distance. I think, okay. Okay. You can see this, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what's the difference?
So I think we have 18 manager IDs. So that's what it is. Whereas every when we counted without the distinct, we counted every repetition.
Okay.
So every value and then duplicates as well.
Okay. Now, if that's the difference between them, so why would it, okay, don't worry, we'll get there. Hopefully we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. So, but you understand what count does, what count distinct does, and how count asterisk works now. Everybody, yes?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Okay. So let me delete all of this. Clear all my drawings. Yes, thank you very much. Okay. So this is what this does. Counts commission, and then this is a where clause. And we're saying where department number is 30, then just counts the one that's as applicable. So I've actually streamlined my data. I'm not taking everything also. I'm not taking everything. That's why it's giving us this. Aside from that, what it will do if we do a count for the commission is to give us the 35 that it gave us earlier. But right now it's going to give us just 4 because there is a where condition. We are saying, I want you to count commission inside the employees tables, but only count where the department number is 30. This is what this statement is saying. Only count it where this department number is 30. Do not count it where this department number is more than 30. So, okay, I think we have touched this, and I think you've seen it also already. So group functions ignore null values in the column. And you can see this with I think with average and sum and things like that, you can see it. But with count also, I think you have seen these operations where there was a null value, it saw it, but it just ignored it because it was not something it could work on. It just kept that value and just kept moving. I think you have seen it also like that when we looked at the count, right? Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, you have seen the count also operate like this, that group functions ignore null values in the column. Okay, so creating groups of data. This is interesting. When you are trying to do how do I put it? Okay, so we can do something like we can find the average salary of an employee. But more than that, we can start to subdivide our data into stratas. When you look at what we have now, you want to break down the data now such that you can now look at them as time slices. So what we have here is we are creating groups of data. So when we find the average, you can find the average in the table. But more than finding the average in the table, we can find the average for each department in that table. And how do we do that? Understand? So for each department in the table now, we can now begin to look at, okay, what is the highest salary in this department? What is the average salary in a department? what is the minimum salary in a department? What is the lowest salary in a department? What is the lowest salary across all departments? What is the average of all the salaries? Is what the mean, the max, and things like that. But now, when we begin to group our data now, when I say group by, and that's where we are going, we are actually now saying we want to do this calculation, but we want you to now group this thing by another value. So this is how you would write your group by clause. You know, when we started, we started with something as simple as this. I don't know if you guys remember. We started with just us doing select from. That's where we started. Then we moved into where. And where we are now is we are in the group by and then the order by. So what the group by column does is this. Let me do a little bit of explanation. So let's say for the employee table we have let's say four departments. Let's use the 4 departments. We have 4 departments. Each of these departments would most likely have a name, or maybe not a name. So if you are trying to find something in the department, what we can do is we can now say we want to subdivide this our data by the department. I want everything, but I want to know how this relates to, let's say, the IT department. And then I now would group by, I will say group by, and then I can now say, what am I grouping by? What I'm grouping by can be quite a number of things. You understand? It can be a number of things. But I can group by the department. I can group by age. I can group by salary. I can group by average salary. I can group by a variety of things. But the sole purpose of this our group by is to now subdivide our data such that we can have a deeper insight into the inner workings of the data. So we have select from, where, group by, and then we can now order by something. I know we talked about order by in the last. So if you are writing any SQL statement, this is how you will write it. There is always a select. That's the first thing you are doing. Then you're from, then where you are selecting it from, then you are now grouping it by something. Then you can order by. Your group by comes before your order by. Your order by does not come before your group by. Some of the errors that you would meet when you're writing queries initially would be, and you're trying to use group by and order by, is 2 things. Whatever you are grouping by, whatever you are grouping by, come in here. Whatever you are grouping by must be here. It must be your select. Whatever you are grouping by must have a group function column, like they have said. So when you are grouping by something, then you must have add all these columnar columns, all these average count, name it. You must have used it in your select statement before you now use it in the group by. You see a very good example now. Before you use it in the group by, it must be there already. It must be there already. So look at this now. We are doing select department number. And then I'm finding the average of the salary. I'm doing that from employees, but I'm grouping this average salary. I'm grouping it by department. Do you understand? So all the columns in the select list that are not in the group function must be in the group by clause. So all columns in the select list, you can see it. All columns in the select list that are not in the group function. This is the group function. All columns that are not in the group function must be in the group by clause. So if this is not here, then it must be here. But if you look at the way this works, this is this. You have, okay, let's do this. I hope this is still very much clear to you guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, and I hope this is not sounding very much like gibberish. I know we've not written so many codes today, but I think the most important thing is just to understand, really. Okay, so now, so let's say we have, okay, let's still use, let's say we have this still our same department. I just want to show you how this will work. You have our employee, you have first name, you have department ID, we have salary. This is what we have, right? So let's say a day, let's say it's in 10. He earns, everybody earns in dollars in this class. So he earns $5,000. Let's say Ayo is in department 20. Ayo earns $4,000. $4,000 is money. Ayo, no vex. There's still plenty money in Nigeria. So let's say daily. You people should be calling your name. You don't want to earn in dollars. Nearly $6,000.
Tolu.
Tolu, Tolu likes money. Tolu likes money. Tolu has $8,000. So nobody likes money again in this class. Okay. So
Amy.
Churchill.
Amy.
Okay, that
Thank
Churchill, your name
you,
is long.
Amy.
So we try just church. Don't vex. So Churchill is say I'm the one that is paying all of this salary. So I don't want you to scatter the company. So you earn $4,500. No vex.
Amy.
Bayo is in department 30. Bayo earns Bayo is a big man. $5,500. Bayo stock is mine. Okay, so now the thing is this. This is how this would work. If we are saying select department number, comma average from employees, and we are saying group by department number, this is the way this would work first. Now, what it's going to do is this. Now, the average salary, it's going to, what is first going to do is going to start from the bottom. It's going to look at, we are grouping by department number, right? So it's going to now take everybody that is in department 10. It will put them, it will separate them. Like this person is in department 10. It will put it out. This one is in department 10. Add them together, put it here. I is in department 20. Church is in department 20, put them there. Daily and Bio, they are important. That it will put them, it will separate them out. You know, it knows that it's in the, so the way it goes is it goes into the employee table. Then it now, there's, okay, the question now group by department number. So it now subdivides it by department. Now, it now finds the average of the salary of each one of them. Why it's able to find the average of the salary is because the first thing it's doing after going to the employees table is that it first subdivided this thing. So you have your departments already bundled together in small sizes, and then it now finds the average. So, like I was explaining the other time, here. So when you have select department and average number, this average is going to work on department. This average salary is going to work on department. And anything that is not here is not being worked on a group by clause, on a group by function. That is not in a function that has will be in the group by clause. All columns that are not in a group function must be in the group by clause. So if I write department number here. I want to group by department. But if department number is not here, let's say I have something like manager ID. Okay, just let us just so that we understand this better, so that it doesn't become like we are talking grammar too much. Let us come and do this here. Ouch. We are my drawings. This. So let us do select. Let's see. Let us write job ID because there's no department. I think there is department ID. Yeah? Let's do department employees, the department ID. Come on, let's do first name. I want to concatenate my first name and last name. How do I do that? Hello, class.
Yes, sir.
I want to add my first name and last name together. I want them to become one. How do I do that?
So we have the, what do we call it now? Slash, straight one.
Okay, so how do I write it?
So 2 slashes, then apostrophe, no, straight,
Okay,
then apostrophe.
apostrophe,
Yes, space in between,
space in between,
space again, and then 2 slashes again.
2 slashes again. Okay. Yeah, the one that told us to write it this way.
Last name
Last name, okay.
as full name. Full
name.
underscore name.
Okay.
The first slash, there should be a space between the slash and the.
This right?
Yes, please.
Okay, okay. So select employee ID, first name, last name, employee. Okay, let me take this one so that let me cut this out again so that it makes more sense. Then let's do this. Okay. Okay, so I want to write this so that it hopefully generates an error. Okay, so I want to do average, right, of the salary, right? Okay. I want to select all of this from employees, and then we want to say group by what now? What do we want to do group
Department
by?
ID.
Department ID. Okay. 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 So I think let's try this. Okay. Okay. It is telling us there is an error somewhere. Okay. Can anybody catch the error? Okay. There's an error here. Okay. So you can see the first thing it told us. Hello, guys. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
It's saying that column employee first name must
Oh.
appear in the group by clause or be used in an aggregate function. Okay, so let us rewrite this way. I want you to understand something. That's why I'm doing all of this. So let me cut this
So
out.
the department ID should come first, I believe.
Okay.
If that's, I think that's what it's saying.
Okay. Okay, let's run this query again. What did it tell us again?
Employee's first name must appear in the group by clause or be used in an aggregate function.
So let us now say we do something like okay, this would not work, but let us just say we do something like let's say we do count. Let's say we do a count. And let us run this query again. Now, what did you see happen? Hello? Hello, guys?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
what do you
Yes, sir.
think happened here? What do you think happened actually?
So because it was saying we should according to what the error was, it
Okay.
should be using an aggregate function. So adding count, I don't know, made the whatever run. I don't know if that's correct or not.
Okay, well, I think that's about it. But you are not getting the full point now. Okay, let us do this again.
Okay.
I think the it counted the number of people in each department. Maybe?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah, you're actually right.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ah, I see. Also the department ID.
So the count counted the number of people in each department.
Department.
That was why
Okay.
we're able to have numbers there. Now, but the point I'm driving at is this. All columns in the select that are not in the group function must be in the group by clause. That's the point I'm driving out. When you are using the group by clause, anything you want to write, basically, you should ensure that it should be used in it. It's important. Else you would keep having the errors that we had earlier. And that will not be a too good a thing. So we don't have so much time today left. So let us just continue. So we have the group by clause, all columns in the select list that are not in group function must be in the group by clause. I think I've emphasized that so much. So the group by clause the group by clause column does not have to be in the select statement. These things are very important. You can use a group by, like, okay, let us go back a little bit now. As you can see, select average salary from employees, and you can just write your group by there. The group by column does not have to be in the select list. However, whatever is not in the select list, as we have said, must be in the group by clause. But it's not necessary. You don't have to have everything written out for your queries to work efficiently. It depends on what you are trying to get out of the queries that you are running per time. That informs what you are selecting or what you are displaying. So you have the group by department number. You have it giving us this result, but you can see that the department number is not in the select list. We are not even seeing it in the select list. But why can it use this? Because it is taking this from the table. It knows that this department number, it knows that this department number is in this employee table. It knows it is there. So when it sees department number, it knows exactly where to look for it. It knows it to find it in employees, and then it can use it to do the group by that we want it to do. Let me clear this out. Now we can do a group by with more than one column. It's not necessary you do a group by with one column. You can do a group by with more than one column. And the syntax is still the same. The syntax is still the same. You understand? Like in this case now, we have the employee table. We are grouping it first by the department number. Then we are now further grouping it by the job title. So we can group people by department number. We can now further group them by their job title. It depends on what you are trying to do actually. We can also the sum of salaries in the employee table for each job grouped by department. So how much are clerks earning? How much are managers earning? So we have the sum of the employees for each job role. Every clerk, how much they are earning. Then we now have them by department. So a clerk, a manager, by their departments, everybody in each of the department, and then by their job role. So a clerk and the manager can be in the same department. The president can be in the same department as all of them. Like you see here, the clerk, the manager, and the president, they are in the same department 10. The analyst, the clerk, and the manager, you have them in department 20. So you have several managers here, actually. But the sum of salaries in each by each job role. So for each clerk, you sum the clerks together, you find the sum of their salaries, and that's what you have there. For each president in that department, you sum it together, and then you can do this. This same thing is something you can do in Excel, but it's just a lot tedious. And then the advice I usually give, or what I usually advise is, when you are trying to do something that you feel is a bit complicated, break it down. Don't try to do it all at once because you might get lost. You can try to have a subset of that data, put it in an Excel sheet, and try to do it in Excel. You understand? Using your filter, do it in Excel and see the results you get. Then write your queries to give you that same result inside SQL. And I think it works. Most times that I have also tried it, I think it works a lot. So you can, I think I've explained how this works exactly. So look at this now. This is how this works now. So you have the department number, the job, and then the sum of the salary. You are selecting it from employee, but you are first grouping by the department number. Then you are now grouping by the job. Now, if we look at what we have here, which is still the same thing, we have department ID here, which is what we have here. Then we can move here. You know, it's not necessary we put job here. You understand? We can put job ID here. You can put job ID or job. Let's put job title. Then let's put job title. I think that should make a lot more sense. Job title. Okay, employees. The job title. Okay, job ID. Sorry. Now, if we had, you can see that we didn't have a job ID here. So if we have something like we have a job ID. Let's have a job ID somewhere here. You can see our job IDs. You can see our job IDs here. And then if we did also, if we did I think we did a copy, I think, can I do that? Okay. I think we did this here. And then let us do that count we did here. So that you can see, let us do that count here. Not because it is necessary, but because I just want you to see something. This totally does not make any sense, but so that you just see something. Okay. So you can see that in department 90, you just have one person there. We have HR rep in department 1. We have PR rep, just one person. In department 80, in department 110, you can see that where department 50 is where we have plenty of people. We have clerks here. You understand? And then department 50, we have a central manager or clerk manager here. You can see that there is no department ID for SA rep here. And that's what we have here. You can see the total number for each of the department. That's what I did here. And this also, you could do a count asterisk for this also, and it will give you the same thing as here. So you can just put number per department. So we can write this as numbers in department, or employee as number of employees. So you have number of employees per department. You can have this. So this is an idea of what you could do with this. So what you have done here is you have broken the department down by the jobs. You have the average of the salary, and then you can do more than the average of the salary. You can do maximum of the salary. You can do minimum of the salary. And now when you take it to a place like this, now everything we've learned from here now, so far, where we are using the group by clause, you can take it, all those learnings, you can take it to a place like this. And then you can do something like you're selecting the first name, the last name for employees, where the salary is greater than. And then instead of that, you are doing okay. You want to now find maybe employees where the salary is greater than, or salary is less than the minimum of the salaries being earned here, or salaries is more than the salary here, or salary is greater than the salary here, or something like that. So it depends on what you're trying to do, really. But you can now begin to, you can look at these things as blocks. You take one, you put it on another, you take one, you put it on another, you take one, you put it on another, till you get exactly where you are going. So basically what you're trying to do with all of this is just give you tools, and then you can begin to use those tools to construct exactly what you need to construct in order to get to where you are going. Okay, so this is how it works. So you have each group by department and job ID, and then you have the sum of the salary. So in legal queries, this one is important. Using group functions, any column or expression in the select list that is not in an aggregate function must be in the group by clause. That's the first thing we said. If you are using the group by, you are trying to group by something, any column in the select list that is not in a group function, or it must be in the group by clause. It must be there, else you're going to have an error. It's important. It must be there, else you're going to have an error. So this will throw an error. So you cannot use where in the clause to restrict groups. Okay, let us stop here for tonight so that we can continue from here tomorrow, because this is going to be a very long discussion when we are talking about the having clause. So let's stop here for tonight. There are no assignments today. We've done lots of talking, but by tomorrow, I know we'll have enough time to cover what is left, and then we'll take joints tomorrow. So we'll be able to finish our classes. I hope you guys understood a lot of what we talked about, hopefully. But if there are any questions, please just go ahead and shoot your questions so I can answer them.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm with you, madam.
Yes, that query that you projected a while
Yes.
ago, you used count, and then you contacted it. Is there a need for us to still concat when we are using that count?
I don't know this one, and this one I'm showing you.
Not this one. The Azure Studio.
Okay. Okay, this one.
Yes.
Okay.
Is there still a concat?
I can use concat.
I feel since we are not showing the name of the employees, there are no need
Yes.
for us to.
Yes, you don't need to show the name of the employees. That's why I said this might not make any sense. You understand? But what you could do here is you could, well, you should, maybe I should take this as an assignment for you. Find a way to write this query in a more elegant way. You can take
Okay.
this as an assignment. So, but basically the idea around this is if you use something like a count asterisk, it should still give you the same result. Potentially, it should still give you the same result. I think the only place you might have an issue is, count asterisk would have an issue with, I don't think you will have an issue really, but it might have an issue with the department ID since it's still grouping by the department ID and there's no department ID for this person. So that's why I think you could only have an issue. But yes, you can write this in a more elegant way. You can just count here like we just done. You can actually try to use a count asterisk. I believe count asterisk should work, yes.
Okay. Now, when you said that if any query that we write in the select statement that doesn't have an aggregate and doesn't have a group by, it will not be correct. That was what you said, right?
Yes.
Because I know I've written some queries like that, and in my select statement, I don't have I have an aggregate and I have other stuff there, but there's no group by clause. Does it mean that the result is not correct?
No, you're not. No, you're not getting the point. You can write a query and then have aggregates there. However, if you are using a group by clause, that's the question. That's where the distinction is. If you are having a group by clause in your select statement, every other column that you have in that select list must be in the group by clause. It must be there. And that is it. But you can write a statement and okay, let's, for the sake of explanation, let me do this. Let me do this for the sake of explanation. Let me do this. Let's just run this. You can see we have employee ID, job ID, average salary count.
Yes.
You can see that column employee ID must appear in the group by clause. You can see it already.
Yes.
You can see it already. You can see it already.
Yeah.
So you're saying you're having an average salary here, but that does not mean that you cannot write a query like this. Yes, you can write, but when you are using it here, oftentimes when you are using average, you are using these things, you necessarily are trying to do something that has a group by. You understand? So that's why it would give you. So you can see by us just highlighting, because this should be a statement that should be legal to run. You understand? Select employees, job ID, average salary. But when you're saying average salary now, it begs the question, average salary for what now? That is where you begin to understand. Average salary for what? Is it average salary for each employee you're trying to get? Or average salary for all employees? Or what exactly are you trying to find the average salary for? Because I can't find the average salary for myself. My salary is my salary. Are you understanding? If I'm trying to find the average salary, I'm trying to find the average salary in a group of people. According to the department I work in, according to the job role I function in, according to my level, that is what I am trying to find. That you will find an average within a group, not find an average of a single entity. That is why it will throw this error. I hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So any other person with any question? Any other person with any question? Okay. So if there are none, thank you so much, guys, for jumping on the call. I hope you guys were able to understand. I know this class was a lot of talk, but don't worry, you have time to write plenty of queries soon afterwards. My thoughts are that understand it first. And if you understand it first, then you can now begin to build using that. I wish you guys a wonderful night rest. There are no assignments today, but you have plenty of assignments to work through as from next class. And then your capstone project maybe by Saturday or Sunday by God's grace. So please take care of yourself, and then I wish you a good night rest. Have yourself a good one. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Please, good night, everyone.
Good night, ma. Thank you.
Let's on the group. Thank you.